Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the Black Crow Podcast. I'm April.
And I'm David. You already know, this is your place to settle in and lean into the strange, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying.
We've got 5 fresh stories for you tonight. 5 little slices of the unknown, straight from our listeners' inboxes. Some of these might make you keep a closer eye on your hallway, or your attic, or your backyard.
Yeah, and if you're tuning in alone, maybe keep that hallway light on. Just saying.
All right. Let's jump into the first one. This one comes from Amanda, and I gotta say, I had goosebumps just reading it. You'll see why. Hi, April and David. My name's Amanda, and I live in Vermont, in this old colonial-style house that was built in the early 1900s. It's charming, creaky, and has a lot of character. But even when I first moved in, there was something off. You know that feeling like the air gets heavier at night, like someone's quietly watching you from the corners? I've felt that. More times than I can count. So one night, around 3:14 in the morning, I wake up suddenly. Not from a dream, not from a noise I can explain, just awake. Then I hear it. Soft footsteps on the wooden stairs. Now, at first, I figured it had to be my daughter. She sometimes gets up to get water at night. But then, I remembered she was staying with her grandparents that weekend. I was alone in the house. I got out of bed slowly and tiptoed to the hallway. Everything was still, except for those footsteps. Slow, steady, like someone in no rush at all. I looked down the staircase, and that's when I saw her. A little girl, sitting halfway up the stairs, long dark hair, wearing this faded white nightgown that looked straight out of the 1800s. I saw her back first. She was just sitting there, still. Then, she turned her head. Not fast. Just slow and deliberate, like she'd been waiting for me to notice her. Her face was pale, her eyes were huge, way too big for her face, and she smiled. But not a happy smile. Not a, "Hi, I'm a friendly ghost" smile. It was sad. Hollow. The kind of smile that makes your stomach drop. And then she was gone. No footsteps. No movement. Just gone. I stood there frozen. I don't know how long. I couldn't look away from those stairs. My whole body was buzzing. Even now, every time I walk past that spot, I still feel her.
Oh, wow. That last line gave me chills. I still feel her. Man.
It's so unsettling. There's something about a child ghost that hits differently. That mix of innocence with something that clearly isn't right.
Yeah, and Amanda paints it so well. That smile? The way it wasn't joyful, just wrong. Like the girl wasn't smiling for Amanda, but at some memory or feeling trapped inside her.
I keep thinking about that moment Amanda realizes her daughter isn't even home. That switch from confusion to full-body fear. Can you imagine that?
And the detail about the time, 3:14 a.m., that's just close enough to the witching hour to make it feel intentional. Like, whatever that girl was, she wanted to be seen.
It makes you wonder, who was she? Was that her house once? Was that a warning? A plea for help?
Or maybe she doesn't even know she's there, just stuck in that one moment over and over again. Man.
Amanda, thank you for sharing that with us. That's the kind of story that lingers in your mind long after you hear it.
And in your hallway, especially your hallway.
Now, speaking of dark places, let's head somewhere a little more open, but just as unnerving.
Open like a desert truck stop in the dead of night. Our next story comes from Marcus, and it's one of those tales that reminds you, not every shadow comes from something you can see. Hey Black Crow, my name's Marcus. I've been driving long-haul trucks for over 15 years now, and I've seen a lot out there. Strange lights, weird people, even the occasional animal that doesn't look like it should exist. but nothing has ever stuck with me like this night. I had just pulled into a truck stop outside of Elko, Nevada. It was around 2:30 in the morning, pitch black, the kind of dark that swallows the desert whole. The lot was empty, no other trucks, no lights, just dead quiet, not even a breeze. I stepped out to stretch my legs and light a cigarette. That's when I felt it. That silence. You know when it's too quiet? Not peaceful. More like the world holding its breath. I leaned back against my rig, and that's when I saw something move on the pavement in front of me. A shadow, but not mine, and not shaped like a person either. This thing was crawling, slithering. It had limbs, but they weren't moving like arms or legs. It was flat and fast, and the weirdest part, it wasn't cast by anything. There was no light, no moon, no truck stop lights. Just this shadow, gliding across the ground like it was alive. I froze. My hand literally went numb. I dropped the cigarette. The thing slid right under my truck like it belonged there. And I swear to you, I heard it breathing. Didn't think twice. I jumped in, slammed the door, and tore out of there like a bat out of hell. Drove straight for 60 miles before I could even look in the rear view.
Okay, that just unlocked a new fear. A shadow with no light? That moves on its own?
Exactly. Shadows are supposed to follow something. They're not supposed to lead. The way he describes it, crawling, that's so specific, like it wasn't just moving. It had intention.
And the fact that it went under the truck, like it was hunting for a place to hide, or worse, a way in? Ugh.
It gives me that gut-level reaction, like something primal telling you, run. Marcus's instinct kicked in the way it does when your body senses something your brain can't even process yet.
And he's a seasoned trucker. He's seen weird stuff. But that one moment still haunts him. That says everything.
Marcus, wherever you are, thank you for sending that in. You've just made every lonely truck stop 1,000% creepier for the rest of us.
And now we shift from highways to home. Sometimes the strangest things come not from what you see, but what you hear, or shouldn't be able to hear at all.
Up next, Carla brings us a quiet kind of haunting, one that plays on nostalgia, memory, and the static between worlds.
Hi, April and David. I'm Carla, and I've always loved old things. Antiques, photos, old music, especially stuff that's lived a little. When my grandfather passed away last year, he left me his 1940s tabletop AM radio. It was beautiful, classic brown bakelite, but it didn't work. No cord, no guts. Just a shell, basically. I kept it on a shelf in the living room, mostly as a memory. Then one night, during a heavy thunderstorm, I was curled up reading a novel by candlelight. Yeah, I like setting a vibe, and I heard music. It was soft, muffled, but it was there, coming from the direction of the radio. It wasn't any station I knew. It was this old swing jazz, like from a different era entirely. Faint drums, horns, even a voice singing through static. At first I thought I was dreaming, but I leaned in closer and the voice in the song said a name I hadn't heard in over 20 years. Miss Ida. She was my neighbor growing up, an older lady who used to play that exact kind of music from her porch while she worked on her garden. She passed when I was a teenager. I checked the radio the next morning. Still empty, no wiring, no battery. Nothing. Now I don't touch it. I don't even dust it. I just let it sit on the shelf. And some nights, especially stormy ones, I swear it's still listening.
That gave me goosebumps. It's not even a scary story in the traditional sense, but man, that feeling it leaves you with?
Totally. It's eerie in a gentle, emotional way, like the past trying to reach out and whisper, "Hey, I'm still here." And that specific name, Miss Ida, it's too personal to be a coincidence.
And storms? They've always had this connection to things crossing over. Static, energy, lightning. It's almost like they open a window.
I think Carla was right to leave it be. Some objects don't want to be touched, they just want to be remembered.
Carla, thank you for that story. It's a perfect example that the supernatural isn't always violent or loud. Sometimes it's just a whisper in the dark.
Now let's head back outside, but this time to the lonely stretch of a back road. Late at night, with friends in the car, you'd think you're safe. But what if you saw something on that road that just didn't belong?
This next story comes from Tyrone, and trust us, it's going to change the way you drive at night. Hey guys, I'm Tyrone. This happened when I was in college in North Carolina. Me and two friends were driving home from a party one night. Clear skies, back roads, nothing unusual. It was about 1 a.m. when we saw him. A man walking straight down the center line of the road. Tall, thin, wearing this long gray coat that flapped a little in the breeze. His head was slightly bowed, like he was lost in thought. We slowed the car. I rolled down my window and called out, "Hey man, you okay?" That's when he turned. His face was off, pale like chalk. Eyes wide and glassy, almost glowing in our headlights. But no expression, no confusion, just a deep, empty stare. It felt like he wasn't looking at us. He was looking through us. Like he knew things about us we didn't even know about ourselves. And then he was gone. Not like he turned around and walked away, just poof. 1 second he was standing there. The next, we were looking at an empty road. We circled back twice. Never saw him again. We haven't driven that road since.
It's the vanish that gets me every time. That clean cut between there and not there just breaks all the rules of reality.
And that gaze, looking through us, that gives me chills. It's like the man wasn't even human anymore. More like some kind of sentinel or judge.
It's creepy how Tyrone and his friends all saw him. That shared experience gives it more weight. Like it wasn't just a hallucination.
Tyrone, thanks for the chills, man. That road might be better left in the past.
From the road to the forest now, a place that's wild, untouched, and sometimes watching.
Lisa and Drew were just looking for a quiet lunch spot. Instead, they found a message someone clearly didn't want followed.
Hi, April and David. I'm Lisa. My boyfriend Drew and I were hiking through the Tillamook State Forest in Oregon last fall. We veered off trail to find a quiet spot for lunch. We ended up in this small clearing, no paths leading to it, just trees and moss and silence. That's where we saw it. A backpack, hanging from a tree branch, not tossed. Hung carefully like someone placed it there. It was dark blue, clean, no signs of dirt or wear. That's what made it strange. It should have been dirty. We were deep in the woods, but it looked untouched. We hesitated, but curiosity got the better of us. I opened the front pocket, and inside was a piece of folded paper. One sentence, handwritten in neat block letters. "Don't follow me." That was it. No map, no name, no supplies. The air suddenly felt heavier, thicker. We looked at each other, put the paper back exactly how we found it, and just left. We didn't eat. We didn't talk. We just walked fast and didn't stop until we reached the car. Even now, I can't shake that feeling, like something in the woods saw us and let us go.
That one sentence hits like a punch. Don't follow me. It's so simple, but it echoes.
It almost feels like someone left that bag as a goodbye, or a trap, or both.
It's the quiet ones that haunt me the most. No noise, no monsters, just implication.
Lisa, thank you for sending that. The forest hides things. Sometimes it keeps them, and sometimes it sends warnings. And that's it for tonight's episode of the Black Crow Podcast.
A huge thank you to Amanda, Marcus, Carla, Tyrone, Lisa, and Drew. Your stories, incredible, haunting, honest.
If you're sitting there thinking, wait, I have something like that, Don't keep it to yourself.
Head over to blackcrowpodcast.com and submit your story. We read every single one. And you never know. It could end up here next week.
Until next time, keep your lights low, your mind open.
And whatever you do, don't follow the footsteps in the dark.
Good night and beware the shadows.